Aloha Headsets, Frank here, and another week has passed us in the wonderful world of PlayStation VR. We got some new games, new updates, and some new experiences. All that and more on your weekly update. Now, let's start things off as we always do by discussing last week's new releases. The second portion of the banned footage DLC for Resident Evil 7 was released, and although I didn't find it as enthralling as the first volume, I did enjoy my time spent. It is included with the Season Pass or can be purchased for $14.99. If you'd like to know more, then check out my review. Next up, we also got the Joshua Bell virtual reality experience. Now, if you recall, last month we were sold a premium music video from the band Kygo, which I found to be terrible, but many enjoyed. Now, not only is Joshua Bell a better experience, but it's absolutely free. If you haven't grabbed it already, I suggest checking it out. It's honestly a very cool experience, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of the music. Now, with all that out of the way, we can go over today's releases, and boy do we have some awesome games coming your way. First up, we have Mervils. In this mythical VR platformer, you must search for the hidden pages of the Mervil book in order to defeat Balthazar, the evil wizard who is determined to take control of the Mervil Kingdom. Now, although this hasn't released as of writing this, I was lucky enough to receive a review copy, so be on the lookout for a full in-depth review tomorrow. Also, if you don't feel like waiting, it's a lot of fun. Now, this next title looks like it could be the next big hit on PSVR. If you don't know already, I'm talking about Psychonauts in the Rhombus of Ruin. The story picks up exactly where it left off at the end of Psychonauts, with Roz, Lily, Sasha, Mia, and Coach Oleander flying off to rescue Truman Zanotto, the grand head of the Psychonauts. Their mission takes them straight into the heart of the Rhombus of Ruin, a mysterious part of the ocean as deadly as the Bermuda Triangle. When a rescue party itself is kidnapped and held prisoner in the Rhombus of Ruin, Roz must immobilize and use only his psychic powers to reunite his friends and reveal the identity of the kidnapper, and free Truman before the madness of the Rhombus consumes all their minds. As of recording this, I just finished playing through, and boy was it fun. You should see a review in the next few days if you'd like that, but it's a gorgeous game and I had a wonderful time. Now, that's it for full-fledged releases today, but for those of you out there that don't hear they lie, you will be getting a substantial update as well. New additions include a controller configuration screen, the highly requested chapter select screen, subtitles, and a slew of visual upgrades, like improvement anti-aliasing and lighting across the board. They have also improved head tracking globally for a smoother, more accurate, and more immersive experience. Additionally, they reworked the overall texture streaming to improve the sharpness of the visuals throughout the world. Some additional tutorial screens have been added to help you smoothly immerse yourself in VR, and you'll be able to switch between the VR and the newly added standard non-VR version of Here They Lie seamlessly. These are some really cool updates, and even though the world's a bit strange, I might have to hop back in just to see what all the fuss is about. Alright, so you know what came out last week and what's dropping today, but how about the news? First up, we have a new update in the works for Lethal VR. If you weren't aware, previously high scores were only stored locally, leaving really only your immediate family to challenge. But now, thanks to a new update adding global leaderboards, you can finally prove to the world that you have the best shot in the West. Shooting's all fun and dandy, but I'm hankering for a little swordplay. And although the main game won't be in VR, For Honor released a 360 trailer last week that really makes me want a solid combat game. If you haven't checked it out, I suggest stopping by YouTube and taking a look. And speaking of 360 videos, did you catch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia VR experience that arrived last week? Join Mac and a crew in Project Badass, available from within the John application or through a YouTube search. This video was released alongside last week's episode, which featured Frank and Mac playing a first-person shooter in VR. The only bad part about it is the length. When it was all over, I just wanted more. And I'm not alone out there. It seems like many more players are strapping on their headsets and jumping into their games. The latest numbers from Resident Evil show that over 280,000 players have joined the family in PlayStation VR. Now, those numbers are almost doubled since last week, which leads me to believe that our time is now. So, to those of you still worried PSVR might fail, know that Capcom has already made back every cent spent on Resident Evil 7. Also, on the horror side of things, Paranormal Activity is entering Steam Early Access on March 14th, and has already been confirmed for PlayStation VR, so we should get our version pretty soon. And from what media I've seen so far, it looks like quite the trip. Now, I bet you're saying to yourself, Frank, why do I care about some game that might be coming out soon? Anything you know for sure? Well, lucky you, Starblood Arena has finally been given a solid release date of April 11th. I really can't wait to play this one. It looks like the mech aspects of Riggs mixed with the freedom of Eve Valkyrie. I just pray it plays well. It should go without saying, but make sure to check the channel for any further updates. Finally, next week is GDC 2017, and in their panel on increasing VR presence, Sony staffers will join Impulse Gear co-founders and dive into the world of VR game development using the PSVR AIM controller. Together, the panel will explore VR presence and discuss a couple of areas that can have great impacts on it. The technical details of the PSVR AIM controller and its advantages will be shared with the audience. Also, the Farpoint Devs will provide their first-hand knowledge and experience of what it takes to develop a game for the AIM controller, challenges they faced, and opportunities opened up. Now, I have to get back to some of these great new releases, so here's Shaun from Small Fry Unify to close us out.
Who are you? Wasn't scary at all, wasn't scary at all. Aloha Headsets, Shaun here from Small Fry Unify, and it wouldn't be a weekly update without telling you about what's just around the corner. Forge Replay's Theseus is a game that's coming out for PlayStation VR very soon, and we're here to tell you a little bit more about it. If you're into your Greek mythology, Theseus is going to be right up your street. Based on the old mythical stories of Theseus and how he slayed the Minotaur, we go back and it is a new story here that they're saying Theseus, as you know, went into the maze and slain the Minotaur before decapitating it and stopping. Every 9 years, 9 young Athenian males and girls are taken to Minos, never to be seen again, possibly devoured by the evil Minotaur. Now, the Minotaur is a half bull, half man kind of creature. From the images on Forge Reply's website, it looks like the Minotaur is some gigantic beast this time. So I don't think Theseus is going to be strangling it with his bare strength. Who knows, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Theseus was led by Ariadne. She gives him a ball of twine or string. He goes into the maze and leads his way around, follows her guidance, and gets out again with the Athenians. However, in this game, it looks like there is going to be a little bit of a twist. He goes in there. Ariadne this time is now the voice guiding him through the maze, leading him to safety, or trying to save him, I suppose. But it looks like there's also other things inside this cave. Multi-eyed, bubbly, spider, horrible creatures, and you're walking through what looks like rivers of blood, and there's bits bubbling up looking all gruesome, and then a giant hand comes up, which is from the Minotaur, but it looks absolutely ginormous. So I don't know what you're going to do with this one, whether you use some mythical type powers, but it's getting run on the Unreal Engine, so it's probably going to be visually quite impressive. It does also look like you're in a third person view, so maybe it's going to be like Lucky's Tale, that type of game where you're watching the character in third person, but the world is in VR. We'll have to wait and see once they put out some more trailers. We don't have a release date, unfortunately. We don't also have a price, but I'd go onto Forge Reply's website and check that out for further updates on their news.
Well, that's it for this one. Did you grab that Resident Evil DLC? You getting any games this week? Are you waiting patiently for Star Trek Bridge? Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please hit that thumbs up. Hey, if you want to stay up to date on everything PlayStation VR and you don't mind this ugly mug, friggin' subscribe!
PSVR, Frank.
It's lit!
Hey you, check out this video or this video. And if you haven't already, friggin' subscribe! I mean, come on!